Hello everyone. For our week 3 lab, we are going to be reviewing the Python concept of lists. So in week 3, we learned about lists, tuples, and dictionaries. And we will be going over the cybersecurity concept of password cracking. So there's many forms of password cracking. We're going to be attempting to do some brute force password cracking. So brute force password cracking can either iterate through every possible combination of characters and numbers and symbols, etc. We're going to be brute forcing through the use of a dictionary, or a list. So we're going to use a list of passwords that we're going to grab right off of Wikipedia. Let's go over the README file. So the lab, like every other week, they link to your GitHub Classroom. So you can generate your repository is up on Blackboard. So again, we'll be creating and running a Python script that cracks a password-protected zip file using passwords defined in a list. So your script, that's going to be able to crack the week 3 data zip file that's included in the assignment. And if it all works out, and your program is able to extract the file, you're going to get the Triceratops logo as a JPEG out of the zip file. So the steps in the lab: fetch the repository for the assignment, update your name and S number in this README file, look at crackzip.py and watch this video, and then test. So let's take a look at the crackzip file. So at the beginning, under author, add your name. And then from line 7 to line 35, don't touch the code. So I have written some code that will open up a zip file and attempt to extract all the contents of a zip file using the password you supply. So you will use the function openZip. You're going to pass a file and a password to that function. So you're going to start at line 37. There's 5 steps. 1, you're going to create a list variable, and you're going to initialize it with, and I'm sorry, this is an older file, the first 10 of the top 25 passwords on this link. So we're looking at this first table on Wikipedia's list of the most common passwords under splash data under 2019. So add to a list 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 QWERTY password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 I love you 111 111 and 123 Put that into a list. That is step 1. So you learned how to make a list in Python this week. Please watch the video. Next, you're going to ask the user, just like we have in the first 2 labs, you're going to get some input for the name of the zip file that we will attempt to crack. Now, we're not going to get into the details of paths and everything this week, so you need to make sure when you're running this script that you're running the script with the current working directory in your command prompt as the same directory where the script and the zip file are located. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Make sure it's all in the same directory and you're running Python from that directory. That way we don't get any confusion. Well, I couldn't find my file. I don't know where I am. Just run it from the current working directory. I'll show you how to do it. So we'll do that at the end. Step 3, you're going to use your knowledge from last week and some of the lessons from this week to create a loop. And you're going to iterate through each item in the list. I don't really care if you use a while loop or a for loop. I know in my solution I use a for loop because that's what I like using, but you're welcome to do whatever you want. Within the loop, you're going to do 2 things, step 4 and step 5. So step 4, in the code block of that loop, you're going to try and crack the zip file. Now, how are you going to do it? You're going to call the openZip function that I wrote, and you're going to pass the file name and the password to try. The OpenZip function will return true if it was successful and false if it was not. So if you're going to write, if you're going to call OpenZip, I don't know what you're going to call your function, so I'm going to put this in a comment to grab your file name and the passwords for the loop. But let's say the file name variable was file name and the password variable was password, and you want to grab the result from the function I wrote. Result equals OpenZip file name password. So that's an example of how to use that function that I supplied you. And then you're going to take that result and you're going to let the user know, hey, on this attempt, we tried whatever password and it was successful or it failed. So let's run the script. Let's see how it looks. So first, let me show you how to get to the current working directory. So as I said, to avoid confusion, make sure that you have your command prompt with the current working directory pointing to the same directory where the Python file is located. So open your command prompt and change directory cd to the folder with the Python file. So my folder that it's in is in C, users, mat, code, samples, week 03. Let me just check. Dir. Yes. So this is the folder where my code is located in. So now my current directory, so I changed directory using cd, and my current directory is C, users, mat, code, samples, week 03. Now, if you want to call the code, you just write Python and the name of the code file. You don't have to put the whole path in. This also will drop the contents of the zip file into this directory as we run the program. So, let's clear this out so I can show you how it works. So we're going to call Python. Now when you do this, it's going to be crackzip.py, but when I do this, I'm going to run crackzipsolution.py, because I obviously don't want to give you the full solution right now. And it's going to ask me, what zip file do you want to use? So I called my file week3data.zip. And when you download or clone this repository, you'll get a file called week3data.zip. When I hit enter, my script goes through a loop, and it tries the first 10 passwords that we showed you on Wikipedia. So I took the first 10, and I put them in a list. And okay, at first it tries list item with index 0, and it tries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it failed. And it tries this one, and it failed, all the way to the end. And apparently the secret password is 123, 123, because it worked. Now what happens? It drops, so it extracts the file and drops this logo. So if it works properly, you should see the Triceratops logo in the same folder as your Python file. And that's it for this week. So I looked at some of the struggles we had last week. I want to make sure that I'm still challenging you, but at the same time, I don't want to overburden you. But also, the thing I ask is that you please start this before the weekend. You need to learn this information throughout the week. Try it. Pull the code earlier in the week. Know what you're getting into. If you try it too close to the weekend, I was getting emails all day Sunday. Sunday is really too late to be sending me messages. So for your ability to do this successfully, to make sure that you're on point and getting the support you need throughout the week from me, please make sure that you are doing this ahead of time. So again, this week, read the content, read chapters 4 and 5. Next week is going to be our first week with the other textbook. We're going to be using both automating Python as well as the other textbook from the course starting next week. But this week there's just chapters 4 and 5 from Automating the Basics. on lists, tuples, dictionaries, and this lab. So if you have questions, email me. But this is a fun lab, hopefully, for you. It shows you how to crack passwords. Thanks.